All right, happy Tuesday, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Hopefully, you're having a fantastic day. All right, well, I don't know if yesterday was Sunday or not, but things got a little wild across the MLB. Recap from yesterday, we sucked. We gave you, 5 best bets. We went 1 and 4. So, brutal day. We had the Phillies race to 4. This game ended 3-2 in extra innings on a catcher's interference. So, that was cool. We had the Reds and the Nationals over 8.5. Super sweat-free. Only winner we had, and it was stupid sweat-free. Brandon Woodruff over 5.5 Ks. This one, frustrating. Had 5 Ks. Threw an absolute gem. Went 6 innings on 61 pitches, and they pulled him. He'd thrown 72 and 81 pitches in his previous 2 starts. So I'm not sure why he got pulled at 62 pitches. Throwing an absolute gem. So that was quite annoying. We had the Yankees and the Blue Jays over 8. We had 5 runs through 5 innings. And then we didn't get any more. So that happened. And then we had the Giants on the first 5. Got off to a good start. Scored a run top of the first. I'm like, here we go. And then Hayden Birdsong, came in and walked 3 straight. Gave up a double. Walked another guy. Then hit a guy. So didn't even record an out, and he got pulled. So that sucked. Giants did kind of start to rally. They just couldn't get any clutch hits there. So 1 and 4, crap day. We got to bounce back today. 6 best bets for you guys. Let's delve into this card. Not a card I like. Went with some player props here. Man, it's very juice lines today. Super juice lines today. So kicking us off here is going to be Detroit and Pittsburgh. At 640, it is going to be Casey Mize going up against Mitch Keller. Keller's 3-10 on the year, but he's pitched really well. Win-loss record doesn't really indicate how he's been throwing. He's been throwing the ball fantastic. Last 4 or 5 starts have been really, really good. Splits look fantastic. 190 average to lefties, 185 to righties over the last 30 days. He's got a 389 ERA and 12 home starts, but this number's come down a lot. It was in the sixes probably early in the season. Casey Mize on the other side, 226 to lefties, 273 to righties, and he's got a 203 runners in scoring position over the last 30 days, and he's got a 3 ERA. 2 pitchers I think should do okay today against 2 offenses that have been on the struggle bus. Decent weather, 81 degrees, and there is going to be a 5-mile-an-hour wind. It's going to be slightly blowing in today, but pretty much just a crosswind. I'm just fading the offenses here, so give me race to 6, neither. So neither team to score 6 runs, minus 120 on DraftKings. I think this is also a good nerfy candidate as well. Not paying this price for the Tigers team that just offensively hasn't looked great. That said, can't trust the Pirates, so it would be Tigers to win the game. All right, next game is going to be the Padres and the Marlins. I think the world was on the Marlins yesterday. It was crazy how many people bet the Marlins. That was a bad bet. Vasquez, I like I said yesterday, I thought Vasquez was going to pitch well. I thought Perez was going to pitch well, and they both did. We ended up with a 2-1 final score here. So today we get Stephen Kolek versus Edward Cabrera. Now, I remember when Kolek pitched against Miami, this was a pretty wild game. I want to say they scored 5 or 6 runs off of him in the first inning. And then the Marlins had some outfielder that made like 3 errors in the game. He got sent down to the minors like right after that game. And the Padres ended up coming back and winning the game. It was pretty wild. I think at one point they were down 6-0 and ended up winning the game. So today, kind of a repeat matchup here. I think Kolek gets hit up. I do like the Padres to win this game still. I think both teams are able to get to the starting pitchers. Cabrera should get hit up. Kolek should get hit up. I don't love where the bullpens are at. Miami's somewhat fresh, but I just don't trust their bullpen. So I could see some runs in the latter stages of this game. Kind of a flip the script from yesterday. Give me the over 8. So I do like runs in this game. So we'll take the over 8 as our best bet. And then, like I said, I like the Padres to win the game. Next game is going to be Baltimore and Cleveland. It's going to be Brandon Young going up against Joey Cantillo. Cantillo's looked pretty good since he's been called up. I mean, for Cantillo anyway. That said, he's not been great at home. He's got a 6 ERA and 9 home starts. 333 average to lefties, 263 to righties. But he's been working out of jams. He's been giving up hits. He's been getting in trouble. but he's been able to navigate through it. He's only got a 171 average with runners in scoring position. Brandon Young on the other side, he's just not been good. He's 327 average to lefties, 333 to righties, with almost a 50% hard hit percentage over the last 30 days. And he's given up a 370 average with runners in scoring position. He's got 2 away starts, got a 6.23 ERA. This would be the over or the Guardians. You're just paying a really hefty price. This 8.5 sucks, but it is a lefty throwing against the Orioles, who we know they had some mighty early season struggles against lefties. So I think Cantillo does okay, and I think Brandon Young gets hit up. So this would be the Guardians for me in this spot, especially at home. In terms of the weather, is going to be 80 degrees, but the wind is going to be blowing in. It's going to be like 5-6 miles an hour, but the wind has a pretty strong effect here at Progressive Field. So like I said, Guardians or the over. I just a little nervous about taking an over with the wind blowing directly in. All right, next game, Reds and the Nationals. I actually thought the Reds were going to come back and win this. They were down, 5-0, something like that, and then started to mount a comeback. And every time they mounted a comeback, the bullpen just kept serving up some nice fastballs right down the middle. Today we get Chase Burns going up against Brad Lord. So Brad Lord, 2-5 on the season. He's got a 3.5 ERA that jumps to about 4 at Nationals Park. Chase Burns on the other side. He's 0-1, 262 opponent average. Again, this is super skewed from one really, really bad game in Boston. So we're still seeing this bleed over. He's got a 6.19 ERA, and that jumps to 10.8. But he's only got 2 away games under his belt. So can't really read into this a ton. He's striking out righties at a ridiculously high clip, 41%. Striking out lefties at a 27% clip here today. Give me the Reds in this one. I like the Reds to bounce back. I think 9's probably a little too much. I was thinking about a first 5 under, but I just didn't like the odds on that. But I do like Chase Burns to rack up some Ks here. So Chase Burns over 5.5 Ks minus 130 on Fanatics is going to be my best bet there. But like I said, it would be Reds for me. Don't really love the line. Hoping maybe it kind of comes down a little bit. If I could get this minus 130 or better, I'd probably pull the trigger on the Reds money line. Just hope the bullpen doesn't, poop the bed. But still got a really bad Nationals bullpen here. All right, next game is going to be Boston and Philly. Old Dick Fitz pitching for the Phillies, going up against, or not for the Phillies, for the Red Sox. Christopher Sanchez on the other side. Sanchez is a lefty, and he's been pretty good at home. He's got a 296 ERA in 8 home starts. Last 30 days, splits look pretty good. 160 average to lefties, 233 to righties. Fairly low hard hit percentage. Sub 200 average with runners in scoring position. Old Dickie Fitz on the other side. He's looked pretty good as well. 1-3 on the season, 237 opponent average. He's got a 4.28 ERA, but that does drop pretty significantly to 2.5 in 4 away starts. Splits are okay. 222 average to lefties, 241 to righties. Hard hit percentage a little high, but he's been pretty fantastic with runners in scoring position. Weather-wise here, it's going to be 80 degrees with a 6-mile-an-hour wind. It's basically going to be blowing from right to left, so not blowing in like it was yesterday, which I think definitely impacted that game. This would be one, Phillies minus 205 is a little steep, but I don't want to take Boston plus 167 either. It would be Boston on the run line at minus 125 for me, so Boston plus 1.5 would be how I'd play that game. Let's see. Yankees and the Blue Jays. So this one is going to be Cam Schlittler going up against Max Scherzer. Now, Blue Jays have won the last 5 games against the Yankees. Made them look silly, in fact. So this is one I got to take the Yankees at plus 115. It's just going to be a half a unit play, but I like this spot here. When I look at the metrics for Scherzer, they just don't look good. When I look at his lines today, everything indicates either he's not going to be in the game long or he's going to get tagged. One of the plays I do like I didn't put it on the card. I had it on the card and I ended up taking it off. But Scherzer over 3.5 hits. It's just too juice for me. It's like minus 145, but I didn't want to put something that juiced on the card. But I do like him to go over 3.5 hits. But what I do like is Cam Schlittler to go over 3.5 Ks. This guy's got really good stuff. He's got a nasty slider, curveball's decent, and he's got a nice fastball. So over 3.5 Ks would be my best bet in this one. And we're going to take the Yankees on the money line. I just think they bounce back today. Blue Jays are on a roll, though. They've won 4 straight, 7-3 in their last 10. They're 36-16 at home. So approaching one of the better records at home this year. It just feels like the Yankees are going to get the Scherzer. Look at the splits, 270 average to lefties, 243 to righties. He is giving up about a 4.5 ERA and 3 home starts. So he is susceptible to giving up some runs here. So this is where I'm at with that game. But wouldn't be upset if he went with the Blue Jays either. I mean, they're on a roll, but I think we return to the mean. I just like yesterday, the Yankees only scored 1. Judge had a bad day. I mean, Giancarlo Stanton ripped the ball at like 108. So a little bit of unluckiness in that game. Give me the Yankees. All right, Angels and the Mets. Just 2 bad pitchers. Frankie the Fade Montas going for the Mets. Kyle Hendricks going for the Angels. It's like over 9.5. Feels like you got to play it. But this is just a park that kind of plays to the under. And the Mets at home play to the under a lot. So this would be one. The only way I would play it would be over 9.5 runs. But my God, that's a lot. I looked at Montas under strikeouts. I think that's viable. Strikeout line's 5.5. Problem is I haven't projected for like 5.4. So just don't feel comfortable pulling the trigger on the under for him. But I do like runs. So you could do both teams to score 3 runs is another one that I looked at for this game. I think that's a fairly safe bet in this game. But ultimately, too much value. I take the Angels +1. I just don't trust that bullpen. We saw it last night. They had a pretty damn commanding lead, got out to a 4-0 lead, and then this bullpen is just awful. So not one where I'm going to put my money to trust this bullpen, but not paying this price for the Mets either. All right, Giants and the Braves. We get Landon Roop going up against Davis Daniel. So Davis Daniel, he's an older guy, kind of young in the majors. He's 28 years old, not a lot of major league experience. That said, he's pitched okay, but we're talking about 5 innings. So he's got 5 innings under his belt, does have 6 Ks, but he's only going like 2.5 innings. So we don't have a ton to go off of here. It would be the Giants for me, but not sure I can get there. We got an over-under of 9.5, and we've got rain possibility. So there's a 34% chance of rain. It's going to be 88 degrees, and a 6-mile-an-hour wind is going to be slightly blowing out. So I don't mind the over here. It'd be over 9.5 or the Giants for me. Next game, White Sox and the Rays. Whew. Comment down below if the Rays blew a parlay for you. I have got to have a feeling a ton of people had the Rays. So GG to all those that did. All right, this game's Davis Martin going up against Drew Rasmussen. Now, Rasmussen's been on a very limited pitch count or innings count. He has not gone many innings in his last like 3 outings. From what I read and what he's saying, he expects to get back to a normal workload. So he's got a 150 inning limit for the season. So that's why they slowed him down. But everything I've read indicates he should go 4 to 5 innings today. Now, I don't know if he gets there just simply because of the weather. It's going to be 86 degrees, but there's a 70% chance of rain. There is a 6-mile-an-hour wind blowing out. We get an over-under of 8. It's got to be the over for me. Over 8 would be my best bet. Again, I think best case Rasmussen goes 4 innings, maybe 5, but it's unlikely. It does have a strikeout line of 4.5. I would lean towards the under, but don't really want to touch it. We look at the splits for him. He's not been as solid as he had been to start the season. He's given up a 294 average to lefties, 233 to righties. Hard hit percentage is 45%, but he doesn't give up a lot of long balls. He actually has a really nice mix of fly ball and ground ball. So he gets more ground ball outs than fly ball outs. And he's got a 264 ERA and 12 starts at this field. So pretty good there. Davis Martin hasn't pitched in a while, so I'm not sure what we'll get out of him. probably runs. He's got almost a 5 ERA and 7 away starts. Hard hit percentage is pretty high, and he gives up about 1.3 home runs per 9. So this would be the Rays to bounce back, but again, with the weather, a lot of unknown variables. This Rays bullpen's been awful. Worst bullpen in baseball in the last 30 days, 6.27 ERA. And this White Sox bullpen, sub 3, fourth best over the last 30 days. So over 8 would be the way I would play this, especially with a decent chance of a delay in this game. All right, next game is going to be the A's and the Rangers. Jacob deGrom going up against JT Ginn. So JT Ginn on the season, not a lot of innings under his belt, 32 innings under his belt, does have 38 Ks, so he is striking out about 1.2 people per inning, but splits over the last 30 days, been struggling against lefties, giving up a 357 average, 172 to righties. Hard hit percentage is very high, nearly 50%, and he's got about a 4.5 ERA on the road. deGrom, we know what we're going to get out of deGrom. Should be a fairly solid outing. We get an over-under of 7.5. I would lean slightly towards the over, but it's a hefty price to pay for the Rangers. You're getting some value to take the Athletics on the run line here, plus 1.5. I don't think it's a terrible bet, but going to stay away from that game. Cardinals and the Rockies. Eric Fetty going up against Bradley Blaylock. Well, I was at Bradley Blaylock's last outing, and he pitched lights out. It was against the Reds. It was pretty awful. Reds were just kind of taking fastballs right down the middle. It was pretty cool. All right, so we look at this Rockies team, 3-7 in their last 10. They've lost 2 straight. You got a Cardinals team that just won the last game. Minus 157 seems like decent value, but it's Eric Fetty. Fetty's got almost a 4.5 ERA on the road, giving up a 364 average to lefties, 372 average to righties over the last 30 days. Hard hit percentage high. Runners in scoring position, not great, but man, Blaylock sucks. So it would be the over 12 would be the way I would play this. Not getting enough value to take the Rockies, and it's way too high to take the Cardinals and back Fetty. So over 12 would be the only way I would play this game. Pitching matchup of the night right here, Milwaukee, 11-game winning streak. Ended up getting the job done yesterday. Why they didn't leave Woodruff out a little bit longer, it sucks, I guess, because they had such a big lead. Jacob Mizorowski going up against Logan Gilbert. So I like the spot for the Brew Crew. Really hard for me to not back them in this spot. Gilbert hasn't been great against the Brewers. It's just kind of those one teams that kind of get him, but Mizorowski on the road, technically he's got 2 away starts. Did give up a grand slam in 1. Numbers are a little skewed. Technically, he's got a 6.5 ERA in 2 away games, but last 30 days splits, 205 average to lefties with a 42% K rate, 118 average to righties with a 26% K rate. Hard hit percentage, not bad for how hard he throws, 42%, and a 143 average with runners in scoring position. Logan Gilbert, 189 average to lefties, 360 to righties, 268 with runners in scoring position. I can see an under in this game, but under 6.5 for the Brewers on the money line. First 5, you can get under 3.5. I think that's a fairly good bet. I don't see a lot of runs being scored in the first 5 in this one, but it's Brew Crew or nothing for me. We've got Minnesota and the Dodgers. Actually, we're missing one. We didn't talk about Houston and Arizona, so let's talk about that. That's going to be Framber Valdez going up against Eduardo Rodriguez. This line doesn't make sense to me. You've got a really bad D-backs bullpen, although they have been pitching better as of late, but we know they're still there. Going up against Eduardo Rodriguez, who is just an earned run machine. He's got a 6.3 ERA at home and 7 away starts. Last 30-day splits, he's given up a 500 average to lefties, 280 to righties. Not very good with runners in scoring position. You got Valdez, who's just been lights out. Now, he is pitching away from home, so he definitely... there's an impact there. He's got a 2.75 ERA on the season. On the road in 9 starts, that goes up to 4. So there's your issue there. And we know this D-backs team can hit lefty pitchers. So there is some concern. But, I mean, this Eduardo Rodriguez is just not good. So I'm going to take my chances here. Astros have been hitting lefties well pre-All-Star break. I haven't really seen any regression coming out of the break. Give me the Astros on the money line here. in this contest. And then our last game is going to be Minnesota and the Dodgers. Yamamoto going up against SWR. Simeon Woods Richardson. Yeah, can't get behind SWR here. Sorry. That said, his last 30 days have been really good, though. 175 to lefties, 176 to righties, but on the road, little different story, man. He's got a 5 ERA on the road. Yamamoto splits still look good. He's had a couple of bad outings, but still a 205 average to lefty, 180 to righties. I think he's just able to keep them completely off balance with that splitter. Curveball's pretty damn sharp, too. He's got a cutter. He's got a fastball. So this is one. When I look at the strengths for the Twins, it's hitting splitters, curveballs, and sliders. But this guy's above average in pretty much everything except this curveball. His curveball is actually below average, but man, that splitter is just a nasty ass pitch. So this would be the Dodgers on the run line for me. Over under of 8.5. We do have the wind blowing out pretty good, so I wouldn't mind taking an over 8.5 here. I think the Twins will get some runs, but not enough for me to want to back them. So it'd be Dodgers on the run line. One game we didn't talk about, actually. I don't know why we didn't talk about it. It's going to be the Cubs and the Royals. This is going to be Rich Hill going up against Matthew Boyd. So Rich Hill, the old wily veteran, 45 years old, got called up from the minors to come start for the Royals today. Didn't see the Royals absolutely blasting the Cubs yesterday. That was very interesting. 81 degrees, and we've got a 13-mile-an-hour wind that's going to be just kind of basically a side wind. Kind of jumps. It's somewhere between 8, 13 miles an hour. I don't know how you not back the Cubs in this spot with Rich Hill. You know, this guy doesn't throw hard. He's definitely a crafty pitcher. So two lefties going up against each other. It would be the over for me, over 9, or pass in this one. Just can't pay this price for the Cubs, like minus 260 something. So it would be over as my best bet in that one. All right, let's get to our best bets. Get you guys on your way. First best bet, like we talked about, Cam Schlittler over 3.5 Ks, minus 130 on Fanatics. Chase Burns over 5.5 Ks. Tigers and the Pirates, race to 6, neither. I think Mize and Keller are going to pitch pretty well. We got two offenses that have just been awful. So let's just fade them. Give me the Yankees on the money line, just a half a unit there. I like the bounce back. They've lost 5 straight against the Blue Jays, so I think the offense wakes up after a pretty poor day yesterday. Astros on the money line, just too much of a pitching advantage. Framber going up against Rodriguez. And then we're going to take the Padres and the Marlins over 8. Just hope that the Marlins repeat what they did against Kolek in that last outing at Petco Park. So those are the plays, guys. Appreciate you tuning into the channel, and we'll catch you in tomorrow's video.